Next panel is Margaret Hosey, Trish Florence, Daniel Hawkins, Heather Frederick, Carrie Jones, Kathleen Green. They will be followed by Gail Sayers, Vanessa Riley, Adriana Boyne, Jessica Powell, Dr. Beverly Knuckles, and Mary Ann Quintana. Margaret, she's coming down. Ms. Hosey, you're first.
Oh my. Get close to your mic.
I'll bet that young lady next to you. Would you mind moving that microphone over to her?
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Now, my name is Margaret Hosey, and I'm the Legislative Director for the Life Advocates in Houston, Texas. Senate District 7, Dan Patrick is my state senator. I would like to say that Bernard Nathanson is the abortionist that helped push America into the Roe v. Wade decision. He was one of the two biggest abortionists in the United States. And when he saw the silent screen that someone asked people to look at, he turned into a strong pro-life person. And he went around the whole United States showing that film and swearing that those children were feeling pain. And it was much younger than 20 weeks. Last year, shortly before Christmas, Cecile Richards, the CEO of Planned Parenthood, sent out a fundraising email telling her supporters, quote, Planned Parenthood health centers are reaching more women than ever with our life-saving services. Just a month later, Planned Parenthood reported receiving a record $542 million in taxpayer support for the fiscal year of 2012. The sum which it marks a tremendous increase in government funding despite the Republican-led efforts at both state and federal level to cut off those funds. Meanwhile, Planned Parenthood performed 32,000 abortions in 2012. That's their report, or about 900 abortions a day. That should be called death-delivering service by killing tiny unborn babies, and never be called a life-saving service. There's a big difference. Truly, abortion is not a life-saving service.
Ms. Hosey, thank you. Your time's up. Thank you. We have 2-minute time limit.
I guess I took too long getting my seat.
Well, thank you very much for being here. Trish Florence.
My name is Trish Florence. I'm representing myself. I'm speaking against this bill, and I live in Donna Campbell's district. I've been a Texas resident for the past 20 years. I am a mom. I have 2 amazing children. I am also an unwavering supporter of reproductive choice and all it encompasses, including a woman's right to choose an abortion. This entire bill is reprehensible. It is littered with inaccuracies such as the use of the term post-fertilization age, dubious medical claims, particularly the assertion of fetal pain, and a stunning and absolute disregard for the health and safety of Texas women. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists strongly opposes this bill. The Texas Medical Association opposes this bill. The Texas Hospital Association opposes this bill. The bill not only restricts access to safe abortions, it also restricts access to other health care currently provided by the clinics that this bill and its supporters seek to eliminate. When clinics are forced to close because they cannot meet unnecessary ambulatory surgery center requirements, communities lose access to vital health care for women, cervical cancer screening, contraception, breast cancer screening, anemia and diabetes screenings, thyroid screens, diagnosis and treatment of sexually transmitted diseases, referrals for mental health care, referrals for women who are the victims of domestic violence, Many of these clinics provide other health care services as well. I have one male friend who got his vasectomy performed at a Planned Parenthood clinic. Texas women have the right to make our own informed reproductive choices, including the choice to have an abortion. We will not watch from the sidelines as you strip these rights from us. What began with Senator Davis last month and continues here today is renewing our energy and determination. We'll not stand down, nor will we forget the position each of you take on this bill. We are strong today. We will be strong tomorrow. We're always going to be strong. Thank you.
Did you say that the Texas Medical Association had taken a formal position opposing this?
Yes, that is, and I didn't bring...
Do you have documentation? Because I had...
I don't, but I'd be happy to get that to you.
I had understood that they were neutral, and I want to make sure that we're representing their position.
I will email you that information.
Thank you. Mr. Hawkins.
Thank you. My name's Dan Hawkins. I am a resident of Senate District 12, and I think my senator is doing a wonderful job chairing this.
Great Senate district.
Yeah. I signed in today as being in favor of SB 1 simply because I just cannot stand with those who advocate legalized murder, because that's what each and every abortion is, a murder. Senate Bill 1 will outlaw some abortions that are now legal, and it will make it difficult for many abortion providers to operate, and those are good things. But I take issue with what Senate Bill 1 will do to the Texas Code, and in plain language, the bill ends with some form of, and then you can kill the baby. Why can't we just protect the life of every human being? Chapter 1 of the Texas Penal Code currently defines a person as, quote, a human being who is alive, including an unborn child at every stage of gestation from fertilization until birth. However, there is an exception in the Texas Penal Code, Chapter 19, Section 6, which specifically allows killing of these human beings via abortion. How can the state ignore its own definition of a person and allow a certain segment of those persons to be killed? I've read the Roe versus Wade decision. There's a footnote 54 in it that explains the court's rationale for rejecting some of the Texas arguments, because Roe versus Wade struck down a Texas code. And I believe that that rationale also provides a blueprint for outlawing abortion. I've submitted written testimony which quotes footnote 54. It also quotes the Texas code that was struck down by Roe versus Wade. And I believe that we can basically remove the abortion regulations, the abortion restrictions, or the exception that allows for the murder of unborn children, and just treat abortion as murder. And it just takes the courage to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Heather Frederick.
My name is Heather Frederick. I live in Austin, Texas. I represent Get Equal Texas and FeministActivism.com, and I vehemently oppose any new restrictions on abortion in Texas. Newsflash. Vegan New Hampshire lawmakers enact sweeping anti-meat legislation. A coalition of Buddhist and Hindu extremists, the, quote, soy cream of the crop of New Hampshire, have rammed severe restrictions against meat through the Capitol in Concord. Green Party senators and representatives voiced their support for, quote, ending the slaughter of innocent, pain-capable lives for meat, stating that eating meat is both unethical and unhealthy. Opponents of the bill argued that due to humans placed atop the food chain, it's natural to eat meat, and during a public hearing, numerous scientists presented evidence that Homo sapiens are omnivores and have evolved to eat both meat and vegetables. Challengers claim that this bill, which will force 26 of New Hampshire's 33 butcher shops to close, is not about meat at all, but about radical vegans pushing their own morality onto unwilling constituents. The remaining 7 meat providers in New Hampshire have gone on the record against the bill, even though their companies stand to gain exponentially. The opposition does support efforts to lessen meat consumption amongst New Hampshireites by increasing access to fresh produce, introducing comprehensive nutrition education in schools, and supporting government programs that provide for preventative health care and regular cholesterol and lipid checks. The minority in the legislature who opposed SB 12 issued a harsh statement against the bill, which focused on the economic impact of closing so many businesses, the clear infringement on the religious rights of some, and the public safety issue the bill would create. Their memorandum echoed public sentiments that this bill is nothing more than government intrusion into people's personal lives. My cholesterol and gallstones are none of their damn business, shouted Richard Ferry, an outspoken proponent of small government. This is just another example of how Big Brother is trying to legislate our morality and our bodies. Live free or die. This sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? A small group of people forcing their religious and moral views onto an entire population who is opposed to the legislation. This is exactly how the rest of the nation sees Texas right now. Supporters are busing in outsiders to tell y'all how great these laws are, while your constituents, voters, Texans, are telling you no. My story was just satire, but imagine how upset you'd be if someone told you what to eat or how to live your life. Thank you.
Thank you. I would point out that I'm reading the addresses on every card that has come before the committee thus far. Other than our invited panel, we have not had one person from out of state testify. I'm not saying that we're prohibiting that, but so far it's all been Texans, thus the great behavior that I'm seeing. Carrie Jones.
Hi, I'm Carrie Jones from Dallas, Texas, and I support the bill. I do believe ladies should have a choice. I really do. But when you're pregnant and it's an unwanted pregnancy and you're scared and you're alone and you're confused and you don't know what to do, it's hard to make a decision. And it really shouldn't be at the choice of the lady. I know this personally because in 1982, I did have an unplanned pregnancy. I did have an abortion. I wish it wasn't legal. I wouldn't have done anything that was illegal, but I did. And it will live with me forever, the physical, the emotional. The physical, I had secondary infertility, and those little shoes up there you could just add on because I had so many miscarriages. And I can never go back and change that. It's there. I've heard a lot, and it goes for the reproduction rights of what everyone's talking about, but you don't have those rights if you have an abortion and then later on you have miscarriages. There's nothing you can do about it. You've already had the abortion. So I totally believe that the decision for life should be in God's hands. It shouldn't be our decisions. We should not have that choice. I mean, we do make important decisions every day, but that's not one that we should be making. It should be left to God.
Ms. Green?
Hi, my name is Kathleen Green, and I'm from here in Austin, Texas, and I'm representing myself. I graduated from nursing school with a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing in 1968 from Texas Women's University. Most of my 30 years plus as a working RN was women's health related. Today, in 2013, we're going to go backwards in the health care of all Texas women if SB 1 passes. I worked in nursing before Roe v. Wade passed in '73. Women that had abortions for whatever their personal reasons were usually became very ill or died. That makes 2 lives at risk, and that's why I stand with Texas women. If you have a lot of money, you can afford to take care of yourself or your loved one in any fashion you so choose. If you do not, you have poor or no choices. This is America, and that isn't right. No one deserves to die from unsafe abortions, no matter who they are. Also, everyone deserves access to Planned Parenthood clinics, which are the only access to health care, such as mammograms, pap smears, and other services in a lot of areas of Texas. Sex ed is also made available so people can make healthier choices. Can we please try to quit playing political football and wearing different colors on different days and whatever, and think for the future generation of Texans? Let's all be healthy. Yes, I go to church. Seek justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God is my favorite biblical quote. The government is not supposed to be in the preaching business. It's supposed to keep each and every one of us safe and as healthy as possible. Please vote against SB 1. Thank you for letting me be here.
Thank you. Thank you to this entire panel for being here.